And welcome back to Daybreak, everybody. Last hour, we took a tour of the summit buildings on top of Mount Washington, although there is one of those buildings that is now missing. Back in 2003, in fact, 9 years from tomorrow, looking back, there was a fire on the summit of Mount Washington. The old WMTW transmitting building, which was also the generator for the entire summit, burnt to the ground. And we actually talked with one of the observers that was on the summit during that fire.
They had their generator house in there, so this is where we used to get power for everything on the summit right now. So back in 2003, we were doing generator checks and came in and checked it, and the building was on fire, and the rest is history. It burned that day.
Here you guys are in the middle of winter,
yeah,
left without any power.
Well, for one, the day was a little different than it is right now. Yeah. 70-mile-per-hour winds and visibility, you couldn't see the other end of the building over there. There was only 4 of us up here at the time. So with 4 people on the summit, next thing you know, your power is burning. So we tried what we could. We fought the fire. We actually took a ladder and set it up on the backside at this building right there.
In 70-mile-an-hour winds.
70-mile-per-hour winds, carrying the ladder from the observatory over here. That was a lot of fun. It was like a sail on your hand. Yeah. But we set it up and tried to fight it and lost the battle in the end.
Again, this fire happening during the month of February, one of the wildest weather months there on the summit of Mount Washington, which is why we usually go up there in January and February. So that completely changed the face of the summit. It's the building no longer there. It's just a foundation at this point. You can see it there covered in snow and ice. And now, well, for a few years, they went with generators on the summit, and now there's a power line that actually comes from the valley right up along the cog tracks, and that feeds the summit their electricity. They do have backup generators that they have to use every once in a while. And all right, take a look at your electricity bill and compare it to this. The Observatory, which rents space on the summit from the state of New Hampshire, their electricity rate 71 cents a kilowatt hour. So when Dave, Dan, and I were up there, you bet we turned off our lights whenever we had to leave a room. But again, changing the face of the summit. And can you imagine battling 70-mile-per-hour winds and trying to put out a fire? They, of course, were unsuccessful, but they were actually taken off of the summit for about 24 hours, the observatory staff. And within one day, they were back on the summit and continuing their weather observations, guys.